everyone, hope you're all doing really well. So tonight I'll be whispering my everyday journal notes of my trip to Mexico that I had along with my family and extended family in celebration of my Uncle Z and Aunt S birthdays. So let's get started. Friday, October 15th, 2021, day 1 of Cabo San Lucas, Mexico trip. We rode an Uber-type van to our villa. It was a little loud for me, so I threw on my headphones and held my mama's hand. Things were better for me, and we arrived at our villa/hotel. We all tried to figure out where and what to eat. I saw my Uncle Jay, who has trouble walking, so he has a walker/chair type cane. I have trouble walking sometimes too, so I feel horrible for Jay. I wish him the best of luck with everything and with walking. At night, my uncle scared me and I got pissed. I punched a sign and walked away. My mom took herself and I to a room and she talked about why he scared me. It's because we normally do stuff to each other and he forgot that I'm injured and cannot be scared. The talk made my night very much better and I woke up the next day feeling great while thinking about that talk. Day 2. I had a dinner with my cousins, my sister Kay, and her husband Kay. I did not have to wear the headphones most of the day, and even at the restaurant we went to for dinner. After the dinner, my aunt asked, I usually say, what's the worst that can happen? I replied back with, if I unbuckle my seatbelt while driving, what's the worst that can happen? Day 3. On our way out the door of the villa we were staying at, my mom and I passed this guy who speaks English. He said nice attire to my mom, who was wearing NFL Green Bay Packers clothes. I turned around and said, this is not April Fool's Day. Him and I laughed. My mom said, hey, to me. I was standing near a chair. My aunt passed by me to sit down, but she did not say excuse me and bumped into me. She did not apologize either. It really made me mad and I did not freak out. I walked away from everyone and sat down on a different chair, wrote this journal entry and took breaths. My family and I were outside some building waiting to get tickets for a dinner boat we are going to have. I overheard some woman say that she's from Alaska, and I went up and introduced myself because the snow trouble there got me curious. We talked about how we handle weather and how we handle the places we visit. It was a great, calming, no-issue conversation. Everything was talked about really well. She and her husband did not find it annoying I talked to them. I loved the conversation. I did not have any loud issues either. The lady said she would really like to feel a redhead's hair, so I let her feel mine. She felt it and loved it. Her husband said he got in a car wreck a couple weeks ago. I asked him if he received any injuries from it, and thankfully he said no. He asked me if I have one. I told him how I got my traumatic brain injury, and he said he's thankful I'm still here and breathing. His wife also said that. My family and I had to go back to our hotel, so the lady, the guy, and I blessed each other, hugged, and left. I wish I got their numbers so we could continue talking and stay in touch. Our Mexican golf cart driver drove us back to our rooms since I stay in a room with my sister, Kay, and her husband, Kay. They hung out somewhere else during the day. While I was hanging out with my mom, I went to a different hotel building where my mom was staying at, waiting for my sister Kay and her husband Kay to pick me up in another taxi golf cart. The current cart driver my mom and I were in jerked the wheel and it did not scare me. I was not expecting it either. I was very proud of myself. I said a joke to my twin aunts and one of them said that I say a lot of jokes and she did not laugh about it. I felt bad and embarrassed. conversation and were talking very, very loudly. Since I'm still sensitive to loud noises, I threw on my noise-canceling headphones until my sister Kay and her husband came to my mom's villa. After about 20 minutes of wearing the headphones, my mama did a heroic thing and took me downstairs and out to the pool. My mom got into the pool and I sat on a chair. It was super duper quiet, calming, and peaceful for me. One of my aunts came up to me and apologized. One of my aunts' husband said, "Hard work outdoes talent." The quote really hit me and makes me want to work longer and harder to understand C++ while I study it and take notes every day. Day 4. My sister Kay and her husband walked me to my aunt's and mom's villa. Everyone was loud, so I stayed quite a few feet away from everyone. We all went to my villa where they served breakfast. We took a golf cart trip to the pool and breakfast area. Once we arrived at the pool, the Mexican driver asked me, "Has anyone ever told you that you look like Ed Sheeran?" I replied back with, "Yes, I get that a lot, because I actually do." At the breakfast place, I saw a pineapple being cut up. I thought to myself, "Dang, I feel so bad for SpongeBob and Gary." I said gracias to our waiter. A couple minutes later, I had to say another thank you to the waiter. This time, I said it in English. We left to go back to our room. The waiter said, "Have an amazing day." That really hit me. That was so kind and polite. My family and I had to go to another golf cart to go to a restaurant. I sat down first in the cart and I had a nice, polite conversation with the Mexican driver, asking how we were doing. The convo went very smoothly, kind, polite, and there were no issues, no annoyances of any kind. That felt great and chill to me. While we were waiting for the golf cart taxi for a boat ride where we were going to have dinner, I had a freak out on my mom for acting up. That's how I perceived. Not politely talking to me and acting like things were rambunctious. I threw my headphones down so hard that I broke them and I ran off. I was chased down by my aunt and my other aunt's husband. They hugged, talked to me, and comforted me. I felt a lot better, but I still had some anger and annoyances. So I kept my mouth shut most of the time while we were on the dinner cruise. On the cruise where we had dinner, there was a song called Mambo Number 5 that was playing on a pair of speakers. One of the lines of the lyrics says, "A little bit of a person's name in my life." I turned to my brother C's wife, made a small parody of that line, and I said, "A little bit of my ex not in my life." We both laughed. The cruise we were on was driving back to the deck to live. On our way back to our resort, my mom came up with me and I kept apologizing for my freak out. She stayed in our resort / my room for a while and I wanted to end the bad feeling of my freak out, so I said what I could in order to provide a super huge apology. Thankfully, we ended it on good terms. I'm so freaking sorry, Mama. I later texted my mom a very long apology about my freak out. Day 5. I woke up feeling great. I felt super sorry and will always feel sorry about my freak out on my mom yesterday. My sister Kate told me that she was crying. I always interpret things in a negative way and never think straight about it. I love you infinitely, stupendously, Mama. Seriously. I never mean to hurt your feelings. Right now, my sister Kay, her husband, and I don't know what exactly we're all going to do today. My sister Kay's husband told me that him his wife are going on a dinner cruise ship for themselves. Have a great time to you both. We chilled outside on the most upper floor by the pools. I asked my mama where a nearby shaded area is, and she helped me find the one. She found one that has my sister Kay and her husband in the pool area. I then thanked my mama usually for helping me find a shaded area, and I chilled out on a comforter, enjoying such beautiful views of the beach and houses. My mom came over and hung out with you. My mom came over and hung out with us. She ordered me a drink and nachos. Thank you so much, Mama. My sister Kate to my mama. What's everyone doing today? Me to my sister Kate. Well, I'm eating, because I was actually eating nachos when she asked that. My brother, C, his wife, and the twins came over by the shaded area we were staying at for a while. My niece and I started dancing and laughing. It was fun and cute. My nephew held a ball over his eye and said, Brayden, look, I have one eye. Me too, bud. Me too. Everyone went to go swimming, and I stayed on a couch in the shaded area. I felt very sad and super down about my chaotic. We went back to my aunt's and my mom's villa. My brother C, his wife, and the kids came too. They went swimming. My brother C taught his son how to hold your breath underwater, and they practiced it. When they came back up, my brother said, his breathing bubbles hit my ear. I knew he was done. While they were swimming, some house cleaners were cleaning the outside area of the pools. They left. They came back a little while later, and they offered us swimming floaters. We thank them very much, and my niece and nephew used them. They had a fun, really good time using them. I'm very happy and thankful for that. My whole family and I went on a golf cart ride to a restaurant far away from our villas. We all ordered food and had a great talk with each other. My whole family and I went on a golf cart ride to a restaurant far away from our villas. We all ordered food and had a great talk with each other. While waiting for our food, I noticed that there was a compass drawn on the wall in a nearby store. Everything looked well with the compass, but I noticed the W was an O. There was SO, Southwest, and NO, Northwest. Very weird, I think. Also, during the wait for the food, there was music playing from a live band right behind me. All I had was earplugs in, and I did not wear the headphones. My mom said she was proud of me for being okay with handling the noise. I was proud of myself for it too. My cousin T was dancing to the music that was being played by the band members. I said, "Hey T." I then showed her this famous dance move that was super popular. So popular that everyone was doing it years ago. Her and I both laughed. After the main dish we ate, my mama ordered herself and I a dessert for us to split. It tasted a bit weird to me, but I surprisingly finished it. After dinner, we had to wait for a shuttle to take us back to our villa, so we walked around in the area the restaurant is in. While we were waiting, we stood by a lot of stores near each other. I randomly heard some English-speaking American walk by us. He was cussing a lot. While waiting for the shuttle, some drunk guy came walking past. He laughed so weirdly and super loudly. It scared my mom, my aunts, my uncles, and I. We walked away. While walking away, my detective uncle named Z came up to me and said that it scared him too, and he said I handled that really calmly and very well. He said he was proud of me too. That whole talk, he said, made me feel better, not so angry and appreciative of him. Thank you, Z. I really appreciate it. While walking around town, I noticed that with every corner we turned, there were a lot of people selling some small items. That was crazy to see how many people selling so many different items. Since we were waiting for a shuttle to arrive, I was about to ask my mom what all was going to go down once we got on, but I held back on asking. I felt like I already asked so much. I did not want to annoy her with another question. We finally got a shuttle back to our places. It was a huge van with many seats. There were so many people all squeezed into every seat. I was mind blown by how much people were in the van shuttle, yet I thankfully remained calm through the whole ride. Once I arrived at the villa I was staying in, I brushed my teeth, laid in bed, and I played phone games until I got the feeling of being tired. Once tiredness hit, I took my melatonin, played a little bit of phone games, and went to bed. Today was a great day. Day 6. I woke up feeling pretty well. I went to my aunt's and mama's villa with my cousin's wife, Em. We chilled there for a little while, talking, cleaning, and watching TV while we waited until my aunts and my mama come back from their fishing trip. It was a very mellow time of the villa with no issues of any kind. Thank you to Aunt M's husband, C, for doing the dishes there. Much appreciated. I went on a golf cart ride with my cousins T and M to get a drink. A stranger rode with us and sat next to me. We joked around and laughed. Thankfully, I did not have any problems with that in any way. We rode back to my aunt's and my mom's villa. They were still out fishing, so T, M, and I, we finally got a shuttle back to our places. It was a huge van with many seats. There were so many people all squeezed into every seat. I was mind blown by how much people were in the van shuttle, yet I thankfully remained calm through the whole ride. Once I arrived at the villa I was staying in, I brushed my teeth, laid in bed, and I played phone games until I got the feeling of being tired. Once tiredness hit, I took my melatonin, played a little bit of phone games, and went to bed. Today was a great day. Day 7. My mama came over to the villa I stay in, and she picked me up. We went to her villa so we could eat breakfast. Thank you so much, Mama, for making breakfast for us. It was some good food. My cousin Z came over with Uncle Jay. Meet my Uncle Jay. I hope you have a great day today. He said you too. Thank you very much, Jay. I really appreciate it. My mom, my Uncle B, and I chilled outside by their pool area at my aunt's and my mama's villa. My mom said, even in Mexico, I'm still cold. Her and I laughed. My brother C, his wife, and their kids came over to my mama's villa. My mama and I rode back to my mom's villa. Shortly after the stay there, my mom, my brother C, his wife, their kids, and I rode a golf cart to a fun pool area. We saw a bunch of turtles there, caged up in one area, and they were walking around. I said to everyone, they're on their way to find Master Splinter. My brother and I laughed. Some lady from Bingo came up to my sister Kay, her husband, and I, and asked if we wanted to play bingo. We said yes, and she took us to the place where people are playing the game. The lady yelled right in my ear, and I was not sensitive to it. I am very proud of myself. At the end, my sister Kay and her husband won some things. I did not win anything, but I was okay with that. I am very glad I got to do something fun when everyone was out in the pool area. While chilling on the pool side, I opened up my mail on my phone. I received an email from the teacher for a school Zoom meeting. He sent me the time, date, and the Zoom link. I very much hope I am able to attend without having to go to work. I want to hear about the school stories and stories from the students that attend there. That would be super duper sick for me to attend and hear all about the place and students. My sister Kay and her husband took me to my mom's villa. My mom made me food right away, and we watched some National Football League. Pretty relaxing for me. While watching football, I texted my mom a sweet message saying that our family she created is the life. She read it and she called me a golden boy. That was super heartwarming for me. I asked my injured Uncle Jay how he was doing, and he said terrific. He always says that, and I love when he says it. I am very glad he is always doing super amazing. My brother C, his wife, and their kids came over to my mom's villa. Shortly after they came to my mom's villa, they all had a plan to go hang out at my brother and his wife's villa. I would have loved to come hang out with them there, but I was getting tired, so they took me back to my villa. My brother took me to my room, and we said our goodbyes and goodnights. I then headed for bed. Day 8. I had to go to my mom's villa for my uncle's wife's surprise birthday party. We all had to wait for my uncle and his wife to come over. When I arrived, Uncle C and I hugged. He said I smelled good. That was a great feeling for me. My mama and I sat outside on their balcony. We went back inside and my mom got her lashes done by one of my aunts. I chilled out on a chair that was inside the living room. I sang songs to myself while everyone else got my aunt's surprise 50th birthday party ready for later that day. Everything went well for me. My mama came out of her room all dressed up, including well done makeup. I told her, "Wow, the look and the makeup look beautiful." She said, "Thank you, Bugs," and we hugged each other. Shortly after, everyone else, and I did a fake tattoo. My Uncle Z and his wife showed up to my aunt's and my mom's villa. We all yelled happy birthday as a surprise. I was wearing the headphones and I was able to handle the loud yelling. I am very thankful for that. I am very thankful I did not have anxiety from the amount of people all gathered together for the surprise birthday party. I showed my Uncle Z's wife a birthday video I made for her where I lip-synced a happy birthday song. She thought it was cute and she loved it. My Uncle Z and his wife wore shirts about each other's birthdays. It was so cute. My Uncle Z's wife opened up all her presents and was presented a slideshow to her containing pictures of her. She cried and said she is thankful to be a part of our family. That is so sweet. I went to give her some hugs and I told her that I am very thankful for having her be a part of our family. I love her very much. I did some pictures with my brother C, my sister Kay, her husband, and my mama. It was very crowded for me, and my sister kept telling me what to do. Everything bothered me and gave me anxiety for being crowded and being told what to do. I saw my injured Uncle Jay sitting on a couch. He was frowning, and that made me very sad. My mama told me that things are okay, and at least I'm moving on. That is super, super, super heartwarming. At my mom's villa still, everyone went outside to their pool. My mama and I sat out on the sides on a chair. We held hands for a little bit. It was very calming, and everyone was not too loud for me, thankfully. There was a loud noise that actually happened where bottles were hit against each other. It scared me a little bit, and the scaring aftermath did not last long. I breathed through it, and within 10 seconds, I was back to normal feeling. My mom and I went back inside to get more lunch. I asked her what we were all doing for dinner, and she told me, but she sounded annoyed a little bit. I'm sorry for asking things multiple times. Maids came over a little while later. They made a super loud sound with something, so I threw on my headphones. Things were more quiet and peaceful for me. Uncle Jay, who needs a walker to walk, held on to the rail downstairs to go outside to the pool area. He did the whole journey successfully, and I said, "Great job, Jay." He thanked me. "You're so welcome. Phenomenal job holding onto the rail by yourself and making it downstairs." My brother C, his wife, their kids, my sister Kate, and her husband came over for another huge family dinner. Everyone went outside to eat, and I saw my niece Jay put her finger in the pool. I asked her, "You put your finger in the pool, so you went in the pool?" She replied back with, "Yeah." My Aunt Elle yelled loudly, so I walked away to a different chair, far away from her and my mama. A couple of minutes later, into me calming myself, my sister Kay recognized me and came up to me. She said some stuff I should say to my mama, and I felt better. I went back to the table and played trivia games with my mom. After dinner and hanging out outside, my sister Kay, her husband, and I rode a golf cart back to the villa we were staying in. Once we got back, I brushed my teeth, packed for leaving the next day, and I changed into my clothes that I am going to leave in. I then headed to bed. We had to leave the next day to go back to the airport so we can go back home. Day 9. Today is the day we leave to go back home. It sucks. It felt like a short stay here in Cabo, Mexico, with my immediate family and huge extended family, but dang, it was a massively great stay. Everything was fun and went super well. My mom came over to the villa I was in. She picked me up in a golf cart taxi, and we rode to the airport. My injured uncle went on a separate golf cart to the airport. I wished him safe travels back home, and he said, "You too." That was very kind. We all went to my mom's villa for a little bit before leaving to the airport. My uncle's wife had birthday candles to blow out on her big-looking cake. People said, "Say cheese." Instead, she said oink. We all took a shuttle to the airport to leave. We just left my aunt's and my mama's villa, and my mom said, "Home away from home." During the drive, the driver received a phone call and he answered it, holding the phone up to his ear. Uh-oh, dangerous to do that, man. At the airport, when my mom and I dropped off our checked bags onto the plane, I saw someone drop off a checked, massive, portable cooler. I, of course, had to have it pat down rather than go through a metal detector or a metal detector wand. We all got checked in, so we had to sit in chairs to wait for our plane to arrive to take us off. While waiting on the chairs, my Uncle D. Day 9. Today is the day we leave to go back home. It sucks. It felt like a short stay here in Cabo, Mexico, with my immediate family and huge extended family. But dang, it was a massively great stay. Everything was fun and went super well. My mom came over to the villa I was in. She picked me up in a golf cart taxi, and we rode to the airport. My injured uncle went on a separate golf cart to the airport. I wished him safe travels back home, and he said, "You too." That was very kind. We all went to my mom's villa for a little bit before leaving to the airport. My uncle's wives had birthday candles to blow out for a big-looking cake. People said, "Say cheese." Instead, she said oink. We all took a shuttle to the airport to leave. We just left my aunt's and my mama's villa, and my mom said, "Home away from home." During the drive, the driver received a phone call and he answered it, holding the phone up to his ear. Uh-oh, dangerous to do that, man. At the airport, when my mom and I dropped off our checked bags onto the plane, I saw someone drop off a checked, massive, portable cooler. I, of course, had it pat down rather than go through a metal detector or a metal detector wand. We all got checked in, so we had to sit in chairs to wait for our plane to arrive to take us off. My mama and I shared some beef jerky and trail mix together. Much better than buying a dish. My cousin T onto the flight with no freakouts and no anxiety, thankfully. During the phone ride, my mama squeezed my hand 3 times for saying I love you. It was so sweet, I did it back to her. While still on the plane back home, there was a baby crying a handful of feet away from me. Thankfully, it wasn't too loud for me, and the baby was not right next to me. I'm proud of myself for handling the cry. We landed. The landing scared me a little bit because of how fast the plane was moving when landing, but thankfully I did not get too scared to where I freak out. The weather was sunny this time. I took my night meds. We grabbed our bags, then we headed out to the parking lot where my mama left her car. It was an easy, smooth, small adventure for my mama and I. We walked to our parking spot to get to our car. We got in and GPS'd our way back home. We ran into a stoplight that had orange colors instead of yellow. Here's some things about me with the trip. I never went swimming in water while in Cabo, Mexico. I waved to almost everyone I saw in Cabo, Mexico. I always said thank you to the golf cart driver for driving us around to different places. My favorite drink at the restaurant we have been to has been pink lemonade. Alright, that'll be it for tonight. Thank you very much everyone for watching this video and listening to my journal entries about my Mexico trip. Hope you all sleep well.